Palma. Oh,
Oh, man.
that's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game.
To Del Fuentes.
Oh, wow.
Delgado takes the shot and knocks it down. Maloria is open. 3-point. Oh my goodness! Isang jumper by Robin Celis. Caballero has time. Just posterized by Scott.
Well, we just witnessed the Mindoro Tamaraos escape the Pangasinan Heat Waves in a very important matchup, although they were from different divisions. Ngayon naman, parehong taga-South ang maglalaban sa ating pangalawang laro. Carlo Lastimosa had an impressive performance in their last outing against Bacolod, leading their team to a home victory, while on the other side, JP Kawilan, first-time All-Star this year in the MPBL, struggled in their last matchup against Basilan. It's going to be Biñan versus Zamboanga in the second game of our Tuesday triple header dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat mga kaliga. This is Javi Palanya alongside Coach Mike Perez. Coach Mike, itong Zamboanga, no, they have been somewhat of a struggle after zooming to the top spot in the Southern Division, while Biñan, despite a very veteran roster, hindi rin ganun yung kaganda yung mga nagiging performances nila this season, but still they are in the 7th spot in the South.
Yeah, I agree. Para dito sa Biñan, at least they still got a good run at spot number 7. Samantala itong Zamboanga, considering that they've been losing some games lately, they stayed a good shot at that 4 spot. No? At least guaranteed na sila na number 6, but still, you have a good chance to get to number 2. Why not go at it?
Definitely, and for sure that's what Coach Bong Ramos and Coach Egay have in mind right now, especially in this game against Biñan. Mapapanood nyo ang Liga ng Bawat Pilipino on our YouTube channel as well as on pusopi.com. Ngayon naman, let's bring in the third member of our broadcast panel. We have Ms. Mika Abisamis at Courtside. Mika, good evening. I believe you have something for us about Zamboanga.
Good evening, Javi, Coach Mike. It will be very challenging for the Zamboanga Sikat going against this Biñan powerhouse, losing 3 of their most important players in Roy Sumang, Ichi Altamirano, and Carl Brian Cruz because of management's decision. No? Alam ng mga boys ngayong araw na to na ang laki-laki ng mga shoes that they have to fill. But ang good news ay Michael Are is now back after a month of nursing a painful knee. Nakausap ko siya kanina at sabi niya sa akin, ate, matindi ang trabaho ko ngayong gabi dahil iba ang Roy Sumang. Iba ang kaya niya gawin sa isang game at yan daw talaga ang pinaghandaan ni Michael. So tignan natin what Zamboanga will do tonight. Javi and Coach.
Maraming salamat, Mika. Wow, that's a big development for the Zamboanga Sikat, especially at this part of the season. That's 3 key rotation players that will be not with them from here on out. Let's look at the team standings in the Southern Division. Zamboanga currently at number 4 while Biñan is at number 7, pero marami pang pwede mangyari dito sa positioning ng ating mga teams dito sa South.
Oh, matter of fact, pag pinag-usapan mo itong Zamboanga, ang layo ng spectrum na pwede nilang puntahan. They can either go to number 2 or remain at number 2 with a sweep of their 3 remaining games or even slide down all the way to 6. Samantalang itong Biñan naman could still get to a number 4 spot if they sweep their remaining games, but at the very least, maaaring bumaba rin sila hanggang sa 8 or 7 spot.
All these games very crucial for the teams trying to get higher seeding in their respective divisions. Pero sabi ko nga, this is a South Division matchup between Biñan and Zamboanga. Carlo Lastimosa has been playing all-star level basketball recently for the Biñan Tatak Gel.
Yeah, when you talk about all-star, he was one of the players who made the difference in that attack gel as the veteran guard, poured in most of his points in the 4th quarter to ensure na yung team niya would prevail on their home court. 19 points, 11 of them coming in the 4th quarter on a 40% shooting clip, 4 rebounds, a couple of assists. The numbers on rebounds and the shooting clip really so much better than the usual numbers for Carlo Lastimosa. And make no mistake about it, he's a guy that Coach Boyd definitely would want to go to, especially as you head into the playoffs.
I think confidence has not been a problem for Carlo all his career. But I think the conditioning that he is in this season has made a huge difference in his performance para sa Biñan. Sa kabilang panig naman, Reg Gambat was the lone bright spot for Zamboanga sa kanilang huling laro against Basilan. He really carried the torch and he did not have any help around him. Other than him, wala nang napuntahan ang Zamboanga to really rely on for points in that game.
Oo, no, nag-struggle yung mga kakampi niya offensively against Basilan. Siya lang yung nag-lead pagdating sa offensiva para dito sa Zamboanga. 19 points and really 11 of them coming in the fourth quarter. But the field goal shooting though is a little bit of a struggle, shooting only 31%. Even the free throws just 66% on a 4 of 6 clip from the line. He also got 4 rebounds, and pretty much that's what Zamboanga is. You gotta shoot the field goal better, and you gotta make your free throws if you're gonna come up with the win.
Yeah, and it shouldn't just come from Reg Gabat alone.
Yes.
JP Kawilan, Abdul Sawat, all these other guys have to chip in, especially with the loss of CBC, Roy Sumang, and Itzi Altamirano. It's Biñan versus Zamboanga in Game 2 here at the Paco Arena. Let's go to Richard Campos.
Forward number 31, J. Mark Gimpayan. Two guard number 22, Carlo Lastim. Point guard number 0, Pamboy Raimundo. Playing center number 4, Warren Bonifacio. Their head coach is Boyet Fernandez, assisted by Gino Manansala, Gino Manuel, Eliazar Cabutotan, and J.R. Manansala. LGU partner Mayor Jel Alonte with Ruben Tan and Monching Talisayon. The team owner, Sajid Anyo Nuevo. Now for Zamboanga, Sikat Families Brand Sardines. At guard number 2, Chino Mosqueda. Playing center number 13, Paul Turco. Shooting guard number 15, Reg Gabat. At forward number 17, Abdul Sawat. Also at forward number 18, JP Kawilan. Their head coach is Bong Ramos. His assistants are Ailey Borneo, Ian Valdez, Louis Bautista, Melo Banwa, Jeff Codera, Jose Pimentel, and Marvin Carrion. Team consultant, Egay Macaraya. The team managers, Alvin Muñoz and Ram Iraham. Team governor, Omar Chua.
Starting in this game for both teams, Biñan has Pamboy Raimundo and Carlo Lastimosa in the backcourt, joined by Warren Bonifacio, J. Gimpayan, and Kenny Roca Curva up front. Sa kabilang panig naman, it's Chino Mosqueda, Reg Gabat, Paul Turco, JP Kawilan, and Abdul Sawat for Coach Bong Ramos and Coach Egay Macaraya. Magandang gabi muli sa inyong lahat, mga kaliga. We welcome you to the coverage of our second game of our Tuesday triple header here at the Paco Arena in Manila City. This is Javi Balanya, joined by Coach Mike Perez. At courtside, we have Ms. Mika Abesames, Zamboanga, and Biñan. Both teams from the South Division looking for a victory here tonight in a very important matchup. And that's a nice way to open things up for the Sikat to try and bounce off a loss. They lost against Basilan in their last outing.
Well, much as you lose those players not available for today para dito sa Zamboanga. You know, similar to how Mindoro went with Jacob Bancale, it's always got to be next man up. Especially you understand you're a playoff contention team, and kailangan talaga you go deep into your roster if you want to perform better in the playoffs.
You were talking about Mindoro, Coach. They had a slow start against Pasig in the previous game. Before their game earlier, itong Zamboanga, ganun rin ang nangyari sa kanila against Basilan.
Oo, totoo yan. And it was so slow a start na isang player lang ang nakakuha ng double-digit performance doon, and that was Gabat. And you'd like to think guys like JP Kawilan, you know, Chino Mosqueda, Abdul Sawat, those guys can help out in scoring.
Roca Curva getting the first basket of the game for Biñan. He only had 4 points against Bacolod. Thankfully, Carlo Lastimosa and other guys were able to deliver the goods. Roca Curva has been the leading scorer for Biñan this season.
Yeah, he pretty much has carried that load. He leads the team in points. He's third when it comes to rebounds. He's number 1 when it comes to assists. And his percentage pretty much solid from the perimeter. Nice pass.
Baseline throw-in leads to that reverse by Abdul Sawat.
Yun ang kailangan mo talaga makuha dito kay Abdul Sawat. He's pretty much a perimeter shooting guy that's got a good touch from there. And maganda yung mga reads and decision making niya. He just gotta be continuing to be staying active on both ends.
Actually, kung titingnan mo naman yung mga numero niya from that game against Basilan, he had 9 points. But this is a guy who was named an all-star this year. And he has been the de facto leader for Zamboanga all season long. 9 points is not enough if you're Abdul Sawat.
As a matter of fact, ang consolation mo lang doon sa 9 points na yun, he shot well from the field. He was 3 out of 4 from there. He's one of the leaders when it comes to perimeter scoring. But again, to your point, mas marami ka pang aasahan at ini-expect dito kay Abdul Sawat.
Paul Turco is at the line. First free throw bounces off the back iron. And going back to Abdul Sawat, Coach, I also just want to point out before I forget it, Abdul is one of their leading scorers, but also one of their leading facilitators. And he had 0 assists in that game against Basilan.
Agree. Matter of fact, pangatlo yan pagdating sa assists sa kanila, roughly averaging, I think, about 3 assists per game. And when you think about Abdul Sawat, that's the least thing that you think of from a stat perspective. Mostly scoring and rebounding, and you're really surprised na maganda rin ang mga assist ni Abdul Sawat.
Pero yun na nga yung gusto mo mangyari sa kanya, Coach. He has the ball a lot of the times. And if he's not going to score a lot, you expect him to try and facilitate.
Agree. And any which way, any facet or dimension of your game that could help out the team, that's what you would do.
Raimundo misfires on the three-point shot. Gabat was leaking out, but Sawat would not give up the basketball.
But JP got to take that shot. He was set up well on that X action.
He takes it right now, overshoots the mark. Kawilan greatly struggled against the Basilan Star Horse. There's going to be a foul against Zamboanga. Kawilan admits to the personal.
That's what's most difficult to stop. Kenny Rocacorva, downhill, it's tough to cover him, lalo na if he's going down that left side of the floor.
That's flat 88 right there on your screens. 10.7 points per game to lead Biñan this season.
51% from the field, 73 from the line. He's just that kind of scorer, an offensive machine para dito sa Biñan.
2 for 2 for Kenny Rocacorva.
One man even say on the recent draft, I think he's a steal of the draft.
He is, definitely. He went, I think, as far as the 7th round.
Oh, yeah.
We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. I even believe that was quite an insult, especially for us who have been following the career of Kenny these past few seasons here in the MPBL.
And ang kagustuhan mo lang na mangyari sana dyan is it fuels all the more that fire in Kenny Rocacorva. After all, he's a talent that's been under the leadership and the guidance and the mentorship of Coach Boyet. And you really got to perform well given that opportunity.
Gabat almost turns it over. 4-all is the score. Gabat, shot clock winding down. Layup no good. The tap goes to Waray Gimpayan. Lastimosa leans in for that floater. Wala. Gimpayan will do the same. This time it bounces in para sa Biñan.
Palaging sinasabi ng mga coaches kung re-rebound ka, nasa loob ka ng paint, hanapin yung pinakamalapit na tao, i-box out mo siya para makuha yung bola. But
what a blow by there by Gabat, but he fumbles the layup.
yeah, that was a good baseline drive though. Well, I was gonna say, si Gimpayan, hindi niya kailangan ng box out. Sa taas ng lundag, nice pass.
Saka sa haba ng kamay, but that guy, Kenny Rocacorva, he does have some long limbs as well. That he, compared to Waray Gimpayan, is the more potent scorer. What a pass by Warren Bonifacio down low to Kenny Rocacorva.
It really started with that reject of a screen done by Pamboy Raimundo going the lane side instead of going the middle. And once he understood that everybody's going to his side, he just flipped it over to Warren Bonifacio, who understood, I have a better look inside. And so he gave it up for Kenny to finish.
8-4 is the score. Rocacorva could not make it a 5-point lead for Biñan. We now approach the halfway point of the first quarter. Mosqueda to Choi Ignacio, who's seeing some early action here for Zamboanga.
And that's one other score that they definitely would want to score a lot.
Kalisay airballs that 3.
Not a comfortable looking shot for Kalisa, if you ask me.
Raimundo looks inside the Gimpay. The double comes from Kawilan. The quick swing of the basketball ends up with Lastimosa. Perimeter J doesn't fall through.
Chino doesn't have numbers. He has to slow down.
Turco sets the drag screen. Mosqueda puts on the brakes. Kawilan from beyond the arc. He was 1 out of 7 from the field in that game against Basilan. 1 out of 5 from the outside.
And that was just unfortunate in that game for JP Kawilan. He pretty much, in my opinion, is the best catch and shoot player para dito sa Zamboanga. And for him to perform that way, talagang sayang, higa nga.
They move the ball from left to right. Lastimosa is the beneficiary of some good ball movement para sa Biñan.
I like this 5 of Coach Boyet on the floor right now. You've got good leadership in Pamboy Raimundo. You've got very capable and mobile bigs in Waray and Warren Bonifacio. A good finisher in Carlo Lastimosa and even Kenny Rocacorba. I say this is a really good 5 on the floor at the same time for Coach Boyet.
Maybe a unit that he is looking to have more time on the floor together in preparation for the tougher games ahead, especially in the playoffs. Nobody in front of Carlo Lastimosa there. That was an easy 2 points for the former St. Benil Blazer.
Unselfish ball rotation that time for Biñan. Everybody touched that ball and waited for the least guarded guy to be able to get that rock and score off of it.
Raimundo to Gimbayan at the middle. Bonifacio rips through the right and draws the foul on Choi Ignacio.
There really is so much value in getting Warren Bonifacio to Biñan. I mean, the high-low situations, ball on the wing, ball on the elbow, ball on the low block. Anywhere you put Warren Bonifacio with a rock, he is pretty much a threat.
But still yet to show the same type of numbers that he has had with Pasay in the past. Although these are very decent numbers already across the board. 9.7 points, 7.9 rebounds. Of course, he's already had some great games for Biñan in his short stint with the team, but not yet on a consistent basis, much like he had with Pasay in the past.
Yeah, pretty much. And when you talk about overall basketball contributions for Warren Bonifacio, scoring, rebounding, blocking shots, stealing off ball, getting assists, he's everything.
Jason Credo, James Una, Alvin Capobres has checked in, have all checked in rather, for the Zamboanga Sikat, while the Pinoy Sakuragi makes his first entry into this game. Suwal is also in the ball game right now for Coach Boyd Fernandez, as well as Mike Maestre. Pingris inside, Lastimosa. That's another easy bucket inside para kay Carlo.
And I like that Coach Boyet, every time he gets that ball on the low block, allows perimeter players to just be moving around and not to stay, focused and static. Look at that little dive inside by Carlo, seeing that open spot, and a good passer in Mark Pingris is gonna find you.
At nagkaroon pa rin ng confusion ng depensa doon ng Zamboanga. That's the second time here in the first quarter that's happened, with Lastimosa finishing a basket almost with no resistance. 12-4 is the count. Let's look at the team comparison between these two squads here. Coach Mike, what stands out to you the most?
Well, if you look at that, the clear difference right there would be on scoring, on three-point shot making, and on assists. All of those, I feel, are advantage over to Zamboanga. But then again, when you talk about defense, I mean, you're talking Biñan right here, allowing only 71 points allowed. They're 6th in the league. And really, you got to contend with the paint defenders, even the perimeter defenders of itong Biñan.
Well, if you look at the coaches of these two teams that are playing here in this matchup. These are two veteran coaches. Actually, if you're gonna bring in Coach Egay as well, tatlo. Dahil pareho sila ni Coach Bong ang namumuna dito sa Zamboanga. Coach Bong, Coach Egay, Coach Boyet, all these guys have seen a lot of basketball throughout their careers. And what they all have in common is all of them, they put a heavy premium on the defensive end.
Yeah, and they've really carved out, you know, a good niche for themselves with the experience and the teams that they've handled. You see Mike Maestre knocking down that three of another pass coming off the post. And really, who would be a player that would not want to play for these coaches? And the experience, really good tacticians off the bench, really good motivators, good handle on their teams. And it's just a joy to be playing for these coaches.
Capobles gets fouled there. Zamboanga struggling still here in the first quarter. Down by 9 points. 2 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the opening frame. Papasok na dito si Joseph Peñaredondo para sa Biñan.
And this is how slow the scoring has been for Zamboanga. I mean, you'd like to think they'd be so much better in terms of scoring. They only have 6 right now.
Credo uses the una screen. Ignacio is there to try to set another one. Kalisay out to Capobles. Perimeter jumper will not drop.
Like Capobles continues to struggle from the field.
JJ Pido pulls it back out to Ryan Sual. Lots of time on the shot clock for the guys in white. Sual had to adjust. And there was a foul on the pass against Zamboanga. That will bring Ryan Sual to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Ayun na lang talaga ang magagawa mo kay Ryan Sual. You're always going to be forced to close out on him long, especially on the 3. You understand na one of the really good snipers ni Coach Boyet itong si Ryan Sual.
Sual has been known to be a prolific scorer here in this league, especially in that time with Sarangani playing under Coach John Calios. And he is given the liberty to shoot as much as he can. Most times he can deliver.
And the danger really of playing against Biñan. This team is a very efficient team. They're second best when it comes to taking care of the ball, committing only 12 turnovers per game. And right now, I don't think they've committed a turnover yet. We're almost done with the first quarter.
Ignacio had to improvise there. Zamboanga, just like in the game against Basilan, struggling to even make it to 10 points.
Yeah, he's shooting 21%, which pretty much not acceptable. If you now are Zamboanga, you gotta do better than that.
They only scored 11 after the first quarter against the Star Horse.
Matter of fact, they only had 9 in the first 5 minutes, and then the latter 5 minutes of the first quarter, they only scored a couple of points, and that's not acceptable.
Credo, shot clock winding down here for Zamboanga, trying to go to the up and under. That's a tough look against Mark Pingris. Pido now pushing the rock. Sual gets the pass. Hands it off to Peñaredondo. Pingris quickly to Maestre, jockeying for position against Arthur Kalisay.
That is that version of Mike Maestre that I would love to see once again shore up para sa Biñan. We've seen that in Pasig when he was playing alongside Kenny Recacurva. He pretty much was the big man in the small forward position, na kayang pumoste, kaya rin umatake.
Kanina pa penalty dito ang Zamboanga. Maestre has been known to be a good combination of finesse and physicality. And he has definitely flourished under the tutelage of Boyet Fernandez here in the MPBL. This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
Tsaka he's so solid for Biñan. Matter of fact, siya ang pangalawa pagdating sa offensive rebound, and the shooting percentage is so good. 46% from the field, 39% from 3, 81% from the line, and he's just a guy that, given the minutes, could actually produce for you.
He's been getting a lot of playing time, and despite playing with a lot of talent around him. 14.3 minutes per game. That's a lot considering how much talent
Oo.
is around this team.
Ang dami, no?
Tignan mo naman yung mga taong he has to contend with. You have Borreg Payan, of course. Oren Bonifacio, Big Boy Hernandez. Those guys at that big man position. Of course, the Pinoy Sakuragi kasama na rin dyan. Michael Are, as Mika reported, has made his return after a month-long absence for Zamboanga, right away impacting the game for the Sikat.
And he definitely's got to take this opportunity. Right there, good seal by James Una. Another really good mobile big man that actually understands how to position himself inside the lane. And that time he had that good seal and really left it out for Mike Are to find that open spot on the floor where he can receive it and actually score.
If you just tuned in, Michael Are did come back for Zamboanga, but the Sikat have chosen to part ways with Carl Brian Cruz, Ichi Altamirano, and Roy Sumang for the remainder of the season. So that leaves a lot of room that these other guys actually have to make up for in terms of production, playing time, and leadership.
But that pretty much is, what they gotta do. It's gotta be the next man up, including si Capobres.
Sangwat scoops with the left, no. Una with the tip, right back at him. Third serving, follows through right there para kay James Una.
Kasi na sa mga bagay na hindi mo na matatawaran dito kay James Una.
Pido, he still had time to maybe get a better shot there. Put it up with about 3 seconds still on the clock. And that's going to do it. Zamboanga, another slow start here in this game against Biñan, who have been showing some great team basketball here in the first quarter, Coach Mike.
Pretty much, and the scoring has not been, as quickly as you would expect from Zamboanga. And you coming up with just 10 points in the first quarter really shows you that there's got to be a lot of adjustments, especially against the really good efficiency of itong Biñan team.
Mas mababa pa dun sa pinakawalan nila against Basilan, but good thing they limit Biñan to just 18 points compared to 26 in their last game. Second corner of action sa aming pagbabalik.
Back at the Paco Arena for your Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. With everything that this Biñan team can do, it is imperative for them to win this game if they don't want to drop to number 7. Especially teams like Basilan and Jensen are also fighting for number 5. But even with this lineup, it has not been easy for Biñan. First, they need to push their shooters dahil sa mababa nilang 3-point percentage. So guys like Sual and Peña Redondo need to work harder. Second, they need guys like Pamboy, Raimundo, Pido, and Subido to step up in terms of orchestration and decision-making, as there are just too many options for them on the floor all the time. Third, you know this, Javi. This team loves to celebrate, having one of the most optimistic bosses in the league in Boss Monching Talisayon. Laging nakangiti yun, but entering the playoffs, it will be different, stricter, wiser, and in champion team fashion. Javi, Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. Nasama pa ako doon,
Pag celebration ikaw, no?
Kaya nga bakit kaya? Well, I will not deny that.
No, but really, Boss Monching is that guy's got a lot of joy and free spirit in his body.
No doubt about it. And talaga naman, one of the great success stories that we have here in the MPBL. Hindi lang yung mga player, no? Pati sa mga team owner natin, may mga gagandang kwento rin. And Boss Monching Talisayan, definitely one of the best.
At saka alam mo ako, I'm from the outside looking in because I've not really, talked to him personally. I only see him with how you guys engage with him. Talaga napaka down to earth, He's so humble despite all that he's achieved.
Coach, he started out as a waiter in a BGC nightclub. And look where he is right now. He's an owner of a team here in the MPBL, and he's got a lot of businesses at his disposal, and he has returned the favor in trying to help multiple people.
Correct. One of the I saw in one of his posts, because I follow him in one of his pages, where he said something about one of the reasons kung bakit ako nagsusumikap kasi marami pa akong kailangan tulungan. Parang
Yes,
ganun, diba? That's what he said.
yes.
And so, oh man, when I read that, how can you not admire a guy in Boss Monching?
Dahil alam niya, he acknowledges that even nung sa pag-angat niya sa taas, ina-acknowledge niya na tinulungan rin naman siya ng maraming tao. And that's why he just wants to return the favor, no?
Yeah. Amen to that.
Right now, Zamboanga needing a lot of help on their side because this Biñan team, they're playing real sharp except for that possession. They almost turn it over. The Pinoy Sakuragi risking his body there to try and get the rock back on their side. Capobres also falls down to the floor.
But you know what? Much as Zamboanga is struggling, I see this 50-50 ball being battled by both these teams. Capobres getting in there, trying to dig in. And floor battle with Mark Pingris.
It's a foul on Alvin Capobres. I thought they were going to call a jump ball. And because of that, Coach Bong Ramos will challenge that call. Yellow light in front of our table officials is now on. We'll take a short break.
The Zamboanga Sikat's challenge was unsuccessful.
It's an unsuccessful challenge para dito sa Zamboanga Sikat. Ito yung nangyari. Pingris goes down trying to get that basketball. Capobres was on the floor even before Pingris fell down. Coach Bong Ramos trying to argue that Capobres got all ball, but our referees upholding their decision to stay with the foul on Alvin Capobres. Peña Redondo gets the handoff from Gimpayan. Three-pointer will not work. Gabat able to snatch that rebound away from Biñan. Reg, reverse, napasobra. Oh, that's going to go the way of Biñan. Turnover for Zamboanga.
And itong 6 na points na lamang ng Biñan. Alam rin naman nila na hindi pa ganun kakomportable ito. Kaya kung ikaw naman ang Zamboanga, you know you're still within striking distance against Biñan.
Subino initially wanted the pick from Gimpayan, but the Pinoy Sakuragi was the one who set it. Here they are in the two-man game. That's a quick pocket pass by Renzo to Waray, which Zamboanga steals away.
Well, getting stops, but you got to make shots the other end if you talk about Zamboanga.
Med Salim, the kick out to Michael Are, rejects the screen.
Oh, I thought he had a lane.
Salim against Pingris. Med Salim draws the foul on Mark Pingris.
And he had Mark Pingris really going downhill as he was attacking. And Mark Pingris really tried his best to stay in pace on that downhill drive. Pero bumagsak na siya and he got called for that foul. And so Salim right now is at the line.
Med Salim at the line for 2 shots. I want to greet 3x3 national coach Chico Lañete, who is watching us right now.
Oh, your teammate.
Coach Chico, happy viewing sa'yo. Oo, babawi daw kami dun sa next media 3x3. Kami ni Boss Edelf. Diyos ko po. Ayaw ko na nga sana maalala yun eh.
Oo nga.
Free throws not really doing well, both teams, no, in this game from the free throw line. Score remains the same, 18-12. Salim missing both of his free throws.
And this does not bode well, especially for Zamboanga. They have not made a three, and you're not shooting good from the free throws.
Roca Curva gets the contact on the body of Med Salim. When he's going downhill and he gets to shift in either direction, ang hirap niyang bantayan dahil di mo alam saan siya pupunta.
Alam mo kung ano nagpapahirap pag binantayan mo si Kenny Rocacorba? Aside from him being a lefty, yung change of direction.
Yun na nga, coach eh.
Tsaka yung lakas ng katawan eh.
At saka hindi mo alam kung kailan niya gagawin yun. Saraduhan mo siya ng pinto sa isang side, minsan pipilit niya pa rin eh, at minsan nakukuha niya pa rin yung lane eh.
Gawa na sa lakas ng katawan,
Oo,
di ba?
But when he decides to actually shift to the other side, ang hirap niya rin pigilan eh.
Which is really yung the reason why some coaches find it difficult to go up against lefty players. Kasi iba nga yung tempo eh. Tama, happy, di ba?
Yeah,
Iba tempo
I
nyo,
wish
di
I
ba?
could say the same for my basketball career. Kung sana ganun nga yung sinasabi ng mga coaches about me, di sana nandito pa rin ako sa sahig, naglalaro, hindi nagsasalita, pero
Pero ano ka, di ba? Sabi mo, defensive player ka eh, di ba? At least pinahirapan mo sila sa depensa.
talagang pinahirapan ko sila. Kasi pinahirapan nila ako skumor eh.
Oo nga. Bumabawi ka lang.
Bawian lang. 19-12, Biñan still in control of this game. Rocacorba tried to go to Big Boy Hernandez, who just came in here in the second quarter. Almost 3 minutes gone by here in quarter number 2.
There you go.
Mosqueda sets up Salim. The homegrown from Zamboanga gets it out to Are. They go to Gabat. Three-pointer will not drop.
Still without a made three. Para dito sa Zamboanga, they are second when it comes to three-point attempts and third when it comes to makes. And so, you played for the most part, almost kalahati na ito ng second quarter, pero hindi ka pa rin nakakapunto sa tres.
Biñan fakes the handoff. Hernandez fakes the shot against Sena, but gives it up to Rocacorba. That one's way short. Loose ball goes to Michael Are. Numbers for Zamboanga. Can they take advantage? Gabat, baseline drive. It's a foul against Bam Lopez.
I like that Gabat immediately went to that baseline side, trying to funnel everyone to go to his side so that he can find open teammates either on a ball reversal or an uphill pass.
Balik dito si Pambay Raimundo para kay Coach Boyd Fernandez. Dari si Renzo Subido. Upo muna siya dito along with Joseph Peña-Redondo.
At saka alam mo, itong yung change dun sa roster ng mga nawalang players para dito sa Zamboanga. If I am Abdul Sawat, I'm all the more gonna take this opportunity to prove my worth to Zamboanga.
And he's had his best season in the league so far. Started out with Batangas, then last season played for Quezon City, now with Zamboanga. This has been his breakout season in the league, being named an All-Star sa ating huling All-Star Day. And with the loss of the guys that we mentioned earlier, Carbright Cruz, Roy Sumang, and Itchy Altamirano, the more that he has to assert himself for Zamboanga, who is down right now by 7 points. And look at these guys, they really struggled against Basilan, which greatly contributed to them losing that game. All-Star JP Cawilan only 3 points, 1 out of 7 from the field. Capobres, 0 out of 5. And then James Sena also not doing well sa laro na yon.
Yeah, kaya kung pag tinignan mo yung mga numero na yan, Javi, did they get their volume shots? I think yes. But were they making it? No. Kaya ganun kababa yung naging production nila. Which pretty much has resulted in that kind of game for Zamboanga.
There's a foul away from play. Mosqueda caging Pamboy Raimundo. That's going to be the 14th foul against Zamboanga. In danger of getting into the penalty again early here in the period, just like in the first quarter. Para pa tayong 6 na minuto at 22 na segundong natitira sa ating first half. Raimundo turns the corner, tries to make a pass. I'm not sure to whom, whether it was Biñan or Hernandez. Nevertheless, they will keep the rock. 15 seconds still on their 24. Raimundo, top of the key.
Flex action.
Roca Curva gets past Sena. Medsalim pinahirapan sa Lopez with 5 on the shot clock. Misses on the runner. Sawat will wait for his troops. Hands it off to Gabat. Reds will try again with that reverse. This time, he makes it.
Well, you love the downhill action of Abdul Sawat and just pitching it over for Renz Gabat, who, when it was his turn to try and tack down the lane. And ito yung mga sitwasyon na talagang gusto mong pumasok yung mga tira para dito sa Zamboanga, because they're not getting anything from three. They're barely getting anything from the free throw line. So the hope is you do so much better from the perimeter. On cue, they miss another free throw.
Three-point play could not be completed by Reds Gabat. And you talk about their three-point shooting, coach, their woes from that area of the floor. That was the one thing that really kept their offense alive. Obviously, aside from their fast break scoring, that was the part of their game that really catapulted them to top spot in the Southern Division at one point of the season.
Agree. And matter of fact, even in their last game, while they did get more fast breaks, hindi naman ganun ka-significant yung laki ng separation with Basilan. So,
Sena almost traveled there. Go ahead, coach, you were saying?
no, I was going to say, if your threes are not going in and you don't have your fast break game going, you're not making your free throws, it is a tough game for Zamboanga.
Well, maybe going to James Sena might be a viable option. We know James Sena to be a very capable scorer inside. Let's see if Zamboanga explores this more.
Nice pass.
Lopez, lakas. Long rebound falling into the hands of Pamboy Raimundo, pero may foul na may itatawag laban sa Zamboanga. And that's going to send a Biñan player to the free throw line. It's going to be Kenny Rocacurva.
And Biñan also not shooting that well from the free throw line. They're only 6 of 13. They really, for the most part, are the better free throw shooting team at roughly about 67% per game.
They were 24 out of 31 against Bacolod.
That's right. And you know what? Yung mga teams that well, a lot of the teams actually take threes now, diba? But if your threes are not falling and your free throws are not, if your free throw game is not in there, there's a good chance that you will struggle in your games. And there's a bunch of teams just like Zamboanga who depend a lot on the three, na pag ganon yung naging pattern, medyo struggle na yung laro para sa kanila.
A free throw is very important part, especially if it's a close game. Gabat could not score inside. Quite a wild shot there coming from Reds. Rocacurva just comes barging in and scores. What a basket there by Kenny Rocacurva.
Oh my goodness. He was off balance after that defense by Chino. Chino was understanding he was going middle, and so he moved his leg. That definitely is going to be a foul on Chino. But how about that continuation though? Oh wow.
That is upper body strength plus points exuded there by Kenny Rocacurva. Mosqueda wanted the charge, but clearly from the replay, coach, although nauna nga siya sa pwesto, gumagalaw pa siya.
Gumagalaw siya, that's right. I also thought that, well, a good thing that Kenny made that shot, because I thought Carlo Lastimosa was on the ball reversal side, already holding that three on the other end.
That is the freight train. That is Kenny Rocacurva para sa Biñan, already with 11 points, sorry, 12 in this game. Hernandez pulls the rebound down. That's another quick stop for Biñan. They're looking to push. They're actually trying to give Zamboanga a dose of their own medicine here.
I think that should stay with Biñan.
Pacheco Macaraya trying to argue with referee Jay Castroverde that it should have been their basketball. However, there's no changing the call right now. Naibigay na. It's inbounded to Big Boy Hernandez. Clearly an offensive foul against Pamboy Raimundo.
ang natawagan dahil medyo may extend ng arm. And it helped that the defense sold it.
Coach Boyet telling Pamboy, ano ba naman ang Pamboy? Ganito kasi dapat.
Well, gwardiya sa gwardiya kasi nag-uusap
Mismo.
Ganun yun eh. Point guard sa point guard.
Yan naging relasyon na nila over the years. They've seen many battles together. They've won many championships
Oh yes.
with each other, especially in the PBA D-League. That was 3 championships at least with the NLEX Road Warriors. Lastimosa against JP Kawilan. And that rims out. Zamboanga down by 8 points.
I thought Carlo traveled there.
No whistle was blown. Sawat with a little give and go with James Sena. They lose it again. Zamboanga's piling up turnovers. Roca Curva leaves it for Gimpayan.
Probably 2 of the dangerous guys in open floor for Biñan. Kenny Recocorba left side of the floor, Waray on the right side. Both unselfish, both capable of finishing in transition.
Mosqueda trying to take Pamboy down to the block. The drop step. Chino Mosqueda gets the basket plus the foul.
And with nothing going from the outside, especially after getting called for that blocking foul the other end, Chino wants to take it back. And this time he takes on Pamboy Raimundo on the low block. Pamboy was topsiding him, and really the open door was that baseline drop step.
Mosqueda will have a chance to get 3 points the old-fashioned way here. 3 minutes and 20 remaining in the first half. 4.3 points per game for Mosqueda this season, including 2.5 assists for the Sikat.
And I say those numbers are deceiving of the value for Chino Mosqueda.
I agree.
He does so much of the non-stat things for Zamboanga.
That's what he brings to the table. Lastimosa looks at the clock. Marami pang oras sa shot clock nito ng Biñan. Lastimosa gets by Credo. Roca Curva gets ahead of his defender and finishes off the glass.
14 para kay Kenny. Paano mo naman pipigilan yun?
Doing it in various ways here in the first half. Mosqueda able to draw the foul on JJ Pito. That's going to be 2 shots more from the free throw line para kay Chino Mosqueda.
And I think Chino Mosqueda is going to take over this game right now.
This is our fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig, free installation for split-type air conditioners.
And it's the unselfish part of Kenny and Waray that really allowed that good straight-up fast break finish. And I feel at this point Chino Mosqueda is going to want to take over the game. He understands, we're down only 8 points. We're heading into the break. And I don't want this to be a double-digit deficit for us heading into the third quarter.
And you have no more Roy Sumang or Itzy Altamirano to turn to try and turn the tide at the guard spot. It's only going to be you and Michael Are for now, trying to hold the fort at that guard spot for Zamboanga.
But Chino now gets a rest, so I don't think he's going to get to finish the first half. And some other guy this time in Ares got to take over.
Pido hands it off to Carlo. Bonifacio does the same with Roca Curva. Kenny, this time guarded by Capobres. Una comes over to help. They force the steal.
And just good defensive coverage there by James Una. That wasn't his man, but he got in there and started digging, got that deflection.
Are, crossover to the middle. Handoff, Kawilan off the back.
That is one guy that they definitely gotta get going on the offensive end of the floor. And if he continues to move, his teammates are gonna find him in spots where he's comfortable at scoring.
JP Kawilan only with his second basket here, but already an improvement from that game against Basilan where he went 1 for 7 from the field, and he gets his team to within 5 points. 2 minutes and 17 remaining in the first half. Back inside the Paco Arena where we have a really almost full crowd actually on a Tuesday night. These are our LGR fans of the game, brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL.
And Paco Arena never fails to surprise us with yung talagang dami rin ng mga basketball dito, yung mga fanatics.
Oo naman, mga taga Maynila are big basketball aficionados. Miss Lea Lastimosa in the house, supporting her husband and the Biñan Tatakjel, who are in the lead by 5 points. 2 minutes and change remaining in the first half. Here's Lastimosa. Gets a pass
Nice
to Gimpay and blocked by Michael Are. Are, may tangan ng bola. Kawilan, does it settle for the 3? Out to Credo.
I thought he had a shot.
Una sets the roadblock. Jason will go for the shot beyond the arc. That's a big trifecta for Jason Credo.
Asking the other guys to step up. Jason Credo is definitely one of those guys that you would really hope to step up to the plate in this new rotation pieces para dito sa Zamboanga.
Credo, a full-blooded Atenean from high school until college, chose to forego his remaining years in the UAAP to turn pro here in the MPBL. I think he has not yet realized his potential dito sa ating liga, but I do think he has the tools to be a top player in this league.
No, ang dami ng mga games na yung naging performance ni Jason Credo has actually influenced the results for Zamboanga Sikat. And you know, even in that situation, he used that ball screen, he got off his man, his defender got stuck. But once he got out of it, nakita niya naka-drop coverage na. Hindi ko na i-drive to, titira ko na to dito. Which is a good decision from Jason.
Gimpayan hits 2 free throws to make it 30-26. Credo again with the rock. Gets past Lastimosa, sidesteps past Bonifacio, left that one short, couldn't get it back. Pido forward to Roca Curva. Kenny takes flight and misses the layup.
You gotta push that the other way now if you're Zamboanga.
And the crowd already ready to release those oohs and ahs. Are with a hand in his face. No problem for the former Rizal Golden Cooler.
Biggest scoring run so far for Zamboanga. This is a 9-point run to trim this down to a 2-point deficit.
Pido, walang mapuntahan doon. Lastimosa hoping to find a hole here. Credo guarding him. He gets past Jason, pulls up, gets blocked from the free throw line. Lastimosa gets it back. 3 on the shot clock. Wala. Gimpayan gets it to reset, but no good still.
You gotta get it down quick. You got a good chance for a 2-for-1 here.
And does Are realize it? Fumbles the ball a bit. Kawilan quickly to Jason Credo. Jason gathers and draws the foul against Warren Bonifacio.
And as Jason Credo was driving downhill, there was a little bit of intersect between JP Kawilan and Waray Gimpay. And Waray understands JP's gonna slip this and I cannot allow him to slip. And so he got him held up. Kaya wala na naging option to si Jason kundi atakihin yung lane down the middle.
Free throw story in this game. Zamboanga is 5 out of 12 after that miss. Biñan also not really doing that well. 11 out of 18.
Tayo nga, nararamdaman natin yung mga missed free throws ng Zamboanga. I'm sure sila Coach Bong at saka sila Coach Egay din. Ramdam na ramdam nila yan.
It's hurting them right now. A good thing Credo is able to split his charities. 4 points in the game for the former Ateneo Blue Eagle.
Zamboanga should have the final say before we head into the break.
About a 5 to 6 second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Lastimosa taking his time here, waiting for the clock to go down to 5 seconds. Lastimosa makes his move. Carlo, one-hander. That one's short. Ball ends up with Roca Curva. 4 seconds remaining. The steal by Are. He will go for the heave. The prayer will not be answered. And that's going to do it. Our first half in the books between Zamboanga and Biñan.
And pretty much, ang ganda na nga naging balik dito ng Zamboanga heading to break. Coming up with what, a 10-point scoring run. Or a 9-point scoring run rather for Zamboanga. They did get into a lot of good defensive stuff, but Kenny was been consistent, double-double with 6 of 8 free throw shooting. and he's just been that solid Biñan player in the first half.
He helped them erect a huge lead, as much as 12 points in that first half that stymied Zamboanga's offensive attack. But now they're only up by 1 point heading into the halftime. We'll be back.
Efficient is that for Diego.
Pero mintis, dalawang free throw, ha? Oh, what a pass! Makes Pascual setting up Kit Jimenez.
This has got to be one of the best games, if not the best game, that we've seen from Mix Pascual. Good decision making right there, but you got to catch up on the other end.
Defense once again. Ugsang at the post. Fading away. Oh my goodness, Reeve Ugsang. How about that?
If your key player is down, it's the role players that take over. Rivugsan this time, after giving that pass earlier to Mark Meneses, decides I'm gonna take on this one, taking on 3 white shirts, fading away, knocking it down to the delight of the Cebu Greats bench.
Sazon. Yambing will slam it down. Was actually asking for the lob. This guy could really jump out of a building. So si Rinwil Yambing.
Nice little pocket pass delivered there by Ives Sazon. It's still a slam for Rin William Bing. One hand flush as he brought back yung kanyang cornrows for this game.
You don't want to see going as well. Tandaan natin, oh, what a move!
Grabe yun. And Mac Talio able to score.
In and out with the left hand and that right hand finish, leaving the defense on the dust. Mac Talio at his best, breaking down primary defenders.
Napako na sa 64 points. Rodel Gravera will slam it down with 2 hands.
He pretty much deserves that moment, itong si Rodel Gravera. He's just been a guy that they pull off the bench and always gives positive results. He never runs out of effort. It was a foot race with Mix Pascual, and Mix was not gonna challenge that. And Rodel Gravera, a very quiet, athletic guy.
At nauuna siya dito. Farito will slam it down with his left hand.
He is in a zone. Christian Pajarito has made this Voyagers team and this Cuneta Ashdome as his playground tonight, showing us everything that he can do on the floor. Left hand jam puts in that exclamation on the kind of game that Christian has played.
Missing the second. Davao, chance to win it. Escobedo inside the pass. Escocio scores! 0.7 seconds remaining. Val City calls timeout. What a play there by the Davao Occidental Tigers.
Well, they quickly ran the other way and trying to attack, understanding the time that was left, that front end miss.
About a 4-second differential between shot and game clock.
That is enough time.
Roy Sumang attacks, pulling up. Money on a mid-range jumper.
They got time.
But still a 2-possession game. Hamon, a second remaining. And that's gonna do it. Zamboanga. How about Roy Sumang? Struggling all game long with his shot. Delivers the dagger for the Zamboanga Sikat.
The dagger against June Manso, no problem. Little step back, and that basket made just in time to give them the lead and eventually the game.
Basilan with 7 steals compared to 8 naman for Ilagan Isabela. Alex Cabagno drives baseline. Oh! Had that tough angle but had the wits in English to will that one through.
Oh boy, what an incredible shot make by the Crunchman. Santos was trying to keep in step with him all the way to the hoop. Took it to the other side with a much more difficult attempt. was able to use that offhand to keep Santos from getting in front of him. But still, the magnitude of the difficulty of the shot.
He has post start para dito sa Sarangani.
Oh! One-handed throwdown right out of the gates from Simon Sandagon.
Simon Sandagon in his last 2-3 games has really sent out a statement that he is laser focused to try and bring a title for the Quezon Huskers this season.
That came out of nowhere. Simon Sandagon announcing his entry.
Halftime now between the Biñan Tatakjel and the Zamboanga Sikat. Biñan was off to a good start, especially in the first quarter, but Zamboanga slowly able to chip away at the lead, which was as big as 14 points sa laro na to. They were only down by 1 heading into the break.
Yeah, after getting outscored by 8 points in the first quarter, they outscored itong Biñan by 7 come the second quarter. The field goal shooting has not been so good for both these teams, 31 and 29% respectively. It's really just Biñan getting more, exploiting that points of turnovers, getting 6 out of the 5 turnovers that they forced on Zamboanga. The bench has been a huge help for Zamboanga. Guys like Michael Are, James Una, Jason Credo, those guys really helped out. Samantalang sa fast break points, that's where really Biñan has taken advantage of. The transition defense has pretty much been late for Zamboanga, especially sa mga action na involving si Kenny Recocurva.
Well, now we begin the third quarter here. The second half sees JP Kawilan opening up scoring festivities for Zamboanga. We mentioned earlier how important it is for JP Kawilan to get going here for Zamboanga, especially because we've seen him in a slump these past few games.
Yeah, and I love that Coach Egay and Coach Bong have been intentional in quickly getting that first set in involving itong si JP Kawilan.
7 points in the game for the former NU Bulldog, who was 1 for 7 against Basilan, 1 for 5 from the outside. Credo with the basketball. They're now in the lead. Credo, one-hander is no good. Lastimosa able to tap it to Pamboy Raimundo. Back to Carlo. Lastimosa, nobody stopping him there.
A tale of different attacks down the cup. I felt Jason Credo earlier on that middle lane drive was a little bit hesitant, not unsure of whether he was going to take the shot or pass it off over to James. But Carlo Lastimosa, 94 feet of the way, really was intent on finishing on the cup strong and making that layup.
Are gets by with the screen of JP Kawilan. Capobres goes hard to the basket, misses on the layup. Rocacurva gets past JP Kawilan and gets the foul. Basket and 1 para kay Kenny Rocacurva.
And as far as Kenny Recocurva is gone, nobody's answered that question yet. Who is going to stop him on the open floor?
Oh my goodness. The speed, the hang time, and the poise in midair. That's our fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme X Play on the go speaker. Take your music anywhere. That's Flight 88 for you. Kenny Rocacurva turning on the Jets. He has 17 points and 12 rebounds. And we still have a lot of time to go in this game.
Alam mo anong impressive doon, Javi? Yung balance tsaka yung control no? Kinapitan ka na't lahat na itapos mo pa rin na maayos yun.
Well, he's trying to go for 1,000 points, trying to be the 60th player in the MPBL to enter that club. Meanwhile, James Una knotting things up with 35 with a rare 3-point shot.
Well, that is the very first 3-point make of James Una so far this season. And quite a surprise shot attempt for James.
Rocacurva, that's another basket. He's 8 points away from 1,000.
I don't know about you, somehow I get this feeling that he's gonna go for that 1,000 point in this game.
He is in good position to, Coach.
Why
no
not?
doubt about it.
That's right, why not? Why not today?
Michael Are launches from the outside. That will not drop. Lastimosa nagmamadali dito. Stops on a dime. One-hander, wala pa rin. And with a lot of frustration on his face, that sails out of bounds in favor of Biñan still.
I see that pass right here. Saw that drop coverage. Nothing else to do but to take it if you're James.
That's our 3-point shot of the game, brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances.
I'd watch out for Kenny on this baseline out of bounds. Might be a back pick for Kenny as he goes that right side of the floor.
Abdul Sawat is tasked to guard him here. At sa kanya nga napunta at misses that by a hair. Kawilan brings it in the front court of Zamboanga. Oh, Sawat travels. Raimundo's pressure defense forcing that stop.
Yeah, definitely that's what you gotta do. He picked up that dribble high off near the half-court line, and you're really next to the sideline. Coaches would always tell you that is a trap area. You gotta trap that. And some high school coaches, even if you don't trap that way in that situation, you're gonna get pulled out.
Pero madali ring nakaagaw dito ang Zamboanga. Jason Credo gets the steal, tries to deliver a bounce pass to James Una. There's a foul against Biñan. That's going to go against Carlo Lastimosa.
Carlo held on, understanding that there is going to be a slip down the way. Speaking of slips, kanina si JP Kawilan, I thought he would have been better off slipping screens instead of allowing the defender to hit him. After all, he's got that shot from the outside. Nice pass.
Oh, Credo. Medyo nadulas siguro sa kanya yung bola doon as he went for that finger roll. That was a gimme for him.
Lalim eh.
Biñan up by 2. Bonifacio. Quick double here by Zamboanga. Credo almost got in between that pass again. Raimundo, a little cross jab. Back to Warren. Bonifacio. 18-footer is good.
That was a perfect setup, if you ask me. Warren Bonifacio pretty much around that middle lane. Outside the arc or inside, on the elbow or in the lane. He's got a good chance of making those shots.
Credo, muntikan maagawan doon ni Lastimosa. It will go out of bounds. Carlo wants a challenge. Carlo feels like it was off of Credo, but look at Raimundo here setting up Warren Bonifacio.
Yeah, attacking the hip of Jason Credo. And once he opened it up, really just allowed the secondary defender to come in, leaving that spot open for Warren to take the shot.
Carlo Lastimosa has been a long time ward as well. Ito ni Coach Boyd Fernandez. And when Carlos said challenge, Coach Boyd has readily obliged. We'll take a short break here.
Upon review, the challenge was successful. Biñan Tatak Gel Basketball.
And there you go. That is how much trust Coach Boyd has on Carlo. When Carlo says, Coach, challenge tayo. Ayun, maganda ang kinalabasan. Successful ang naging challenge dito ng Biñan. Clearly off of Jason Credo.
At saka gusto ko yung activity, lalo na on the defensive end. Ito ni Carlo Lastimosa. He keeps getting involved in stops for Biñan.
39 to 35.
Elevator.
Approaching the halfway point of quarter number 3. Peña Redondo off the staggards.
Well, that was a foul.
Gimpayan puts it up. That one's short. Sawat collects it for Zamboanga.
I thought that was a foul on Sawat. He held up si Waray Gimpayan on that slip.
Mosqueda had a good personal run in the second quarter. Sawat able to knock it down.
He's got to get involved real quick right now. And the good thing is they're still within striking distance. They're down only a couple.
4 na puntos sa laro para kay Abdul Sawat. Bonifacio, jump stop, shot no good. Gimpayan had that one. Tap to Chino Mosqueda, who could not handle it near the sideline.
Well, Chino tried his best to keep that ball in play, but he lost space. And then James Sena now comes in for Turco. Warren Bonifacio also gets the rest. In comes Mark.
Sideline throw in for the Tatak Gel. Maestre facing up against Kawilan. He backs down. Mike off to Pamboy. Raimundo pinapahirapan ni Reg Gabat. Excellent defense there by Gabat. Sawat head on a swivel. Gives it up to Kawilan. Pass a little bit too low for a possible shot. Abdul Sawat gets fouled there by Joseph Peña Redondo. I thought that it was Sawat who just slipped.
Yeah, Sawat was trying to go that lane side. Saw that door get shot. He's trying to spin the middle side of the floor.
Raimundo will get replaced by Bam Lopez. 4 minutes and 37 remaining here in quarter number 3.
No, sa lalim ng guard rotation itong Biñan, halos hindi mo nararamdaman na walang point guard eh, no?
Mosqueda almost commits a 5-second violation. Gets it safely inside to Kawilan. He gets it back. Chino drives against Bam Lopez. Gives it to Abdul Samad. That's the action they love to run. 39 all.
Some coaches would call that the X action out of a dribble drive setup. When you go to the nail, you do a jump stop, and one of the slot guys will actually exit out downhill.
And they love to set it up for Abdul Samad, but here JJ Pido does not need anybody else. He sets up himself and gets the basket plus the foul.
And JJ Pido doesn't need much to get himself going, and immediately understanding spaces and getting to it before anyone else could. And ito yung X out na sinasabi ko kanina. Stop on the nail and the dive slot by Abdul Samad.
Boss Ruel Condo and the rest of the Biñan VIPs right here in the venue inside Paco Arena. Dumating na rin actually si Boss Bonsing Talisayon just moments before we started the second half.
Oh yeah, he's there na nga.
Yeah, his team is up by 3 points, 42-39. Under 4 minutes to play here in this period. Sawat working the two-man game with Sena. Quickly to Reg Gabat. Reg Gabat misses from the outside. Mosqueda collects the rebound. Chino attacks the middle. A little nudge to free himself up. That one is no good.
This five of Zamboanga is pretty much going to be attacking the lane. They don't have so much of three-point shooters right now.
Except for Reg Gabat.
Yeah, except for Reg Gaba, that's right. He's the only guy on the floor who's shooting about 32% from there. He's roughly about a 35% three-point shooter.
To 39 still here. Baseline throw-in for the guys in white. They go to the left side. Maestre frees himself up from the defense of Med Salim.
Too easy. Didn't have anyone to stop him. Didn't even have to adjust anything. He just went straight to the cup.
6 points in the game for the former Pasig player. Sena
That's
to the
right,
left
Pat.
side. Salim has that outside shot. Med Salim passes it off to the wrong guy. Peña Redondo crossover to the middle. Sidestep, puts it up with the left. Could not finish, but he will be given 2 shots. And at the free throw line, foul is on James Sena.
Back on the other end on that turnover, really haste-making waste. Masyado nagmadali doon si Med Salim on that drive down the lane and just threw it up.
Salim will come out in favor of Alvin Capombres. We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Peña Redondo makes it 45-39. Penalty na dito ang Zamboanga. There you see his averages, 1.3 points per game. Misses on the second free throw. Peña Redondo has been getting some extended minutes recently, Coach Mike.
Oh, definitely. And talagang yung minutong pinakita niya, I feel lalo na yung performance niya in the three-point shootout in the All-Star game should definitely earn him minutes. And you won't be surprised if he's getting looks from the outside as well.
Peña Redondo was able to barge into the championship round of that three-point shootout during All-Star Day a few weeks ago in Biñan. Coach Boyd Fernandez telling Peña Redondo, settle down. There's no need to be uptight. We're up by 6 here.
He went downhill with a lot of force. I thought didn't have enough control to try and measure and size up the defense that was right in front of him. He wanted to go through it.
Sawat meets the basketball. Capombres wants it. That's his spot. Overshoots the mark. Rebound to Biñan. Pido forward to Maestre, who gives it up quickly to Lopez. Peña Redondo could not hit anything on that three-pointer.
He had a good look.
Abdul Sawat quickly attacking the defense, draws the foul, and he will be rewarded with 2 charities.
Well, there's really just experience on Abdul Sawat. I don't think he had the intent to really shoot it. He just heard that whistle and wanted to get continuation.
Abdul Sawat, he has been the top dog for Zamboanga this year. With his efforts this season, he was named a South All-Star for the first time in his MPBL career.
Oh boy, did he earn that. I mean, the early runs for Zamboanga this season. And you know, yung winning streak nila na napakahaba in their first, 15 games. The first 15 games, they were 13-2. That's how impressive they've been until the big teams started coming up. That's when losses started to become more frequent for Zamboanga.
And Sawat was a big factor in that huge run by Zamboanga at that point of the season.
Definitely.
English testing the defense, fellow veteran James Sena. That's all there is to it. Friendly competition between these two hardened veterans. Former PBA players now plying their trade here in the PBL.
Really just being forceful underneath. James Sena not allowing that. Pero Mark has always been like that. I mean, he goes in with a lot of force, pero after that, naintindihan niya na mini-mentor ko yung mga iba dito. No? So, you know, he just recognizes the effort of any defender that's right in front of him. Kasi hindi naman talaga ganun kadaling bantayan si Mark, lalo na sa poste.
Yeah, Pingres before, in his heyday, he would attack quick. Pero ngayon, dito sa MPBL, he's much more careful. He's much more deliberate. But that's because he's also smarter. He's also wiser as a player.
Yes, absolutely. You gotta be smarter, Iga nga, in using the time that you have on the floor, as much as you try and drive efficiencies as well for your team.
Chino Mosqueda at the controls here for Zamboanga.
Somebody's got a flair here.
Mosqueda spins away from the defense. Goes to James Sena, who finally hits near the free throw line.
I say that was Chino Mosqueda all the way. He set up that table. He wanted that stagger one end. After that tight curl, allowed Capovres to come up. He drove that left side of the floor and found James Sena on the post.
Quite a low-scoring affair between these two teams. Only 47-41 as we wind down the third quarter. Another miss by Peña Redonda from the outside. Mosqueda will once again test the defense of Lopez near the block. The kick out to Capovres. They swing to Sena. This time behind the line. James Sena will miss from three-point country.
Biñan should have the last say here.
About a 2-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Lopez, entry pass inside to the post to Mark Pingris. Sena will commit the foul. They have been in the penalty.
And that is, you talk about smarts earlier on Mark Pingris. That's definitely smarts, and that's being wise. You have the ball on the block. You understand your opponent's on the penalty. You got a good chance to try and dig in, make yourself closer in there.
Kanina niya pa sinusubukan kung saan talaga masusubukan itong depensa ni James Sena, kung anong bangga ba yung pwede. The possession prior to that, coach, if you noticed, Mark Pingris was already trying to body up James Sena. And here, with the clock winding down in the third quarter, he forces a foul on James Sena.
Talagang hinahanapan niya ng paraan na what would have been the final say in the quarter for Biñan, but he muffed his first.
That's 4 fouls already on James Sena. Nalalabas muna.
Ooh.
2 missed free throws for Mark Pingris, but Mike Maestre keeping it alive for Biñan.
Well, you don't want to get out-rebounded, especially when you have positional advantage, or numerical advantage rather, on the free throws. Look at that, 3 orange shirts right in there, just against just a couple.
And with all the talent that they have on this roster, coach, there is also no shortage of blue-collar workers, I believe, for the Tatak Gel this season.
Totoo naman yan. Tsaka naiintindihan nila, okay guys, we have a lot of stars in this lineup, but some guys gotta do the hard work. And the thing is, you're seeing that from the stars as well.
5 seconds left here in quarter number 3. Mosqueda goes in. Runner will not work. And that does it for the first 30 minutes. It's been a low-scoring affair between these two teams. No team shooting above 35% in this game as we take a look at our highlights of the game. Brought to you by SIP Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
Well, it's been a quarter that Kenny Rocacorba has really continued what he started in the first half. But Chino Mosqueda, like what we said earlier, really willing his way for the Zamboanga team. They are down right now only by 7 points, and they still got the full fourth quarter to come back in this match. They are down 48-41.
Back at the Paco Arena for your Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. For those positions that these boys need to fill, especially in terms of experience for the Zamboanga Sikat, not having Roy, Ichi, and CBC, I talked to the next men up. Sabi ni Chino, for the guards, I will just be the defensive guy, of the backcourt as much as I can. Para dito kay Credo, he will make use of his IQ, which he was known for since his Blue Eagle days. He said Roy Sumang can control games in terms of orchestration and even score on the fly, things he will need to work on. Along with him is Are, who said yung pagdala ng team talaga habang nakatingin sa ring at pumupuntos ang inaaral niya dito kay Kuya Roy Sumang. Sabi naman ni JP Kawilan, CBC will be a big loss, lalo sa mga important games na kagaya nito kasi fighter daw talaga ito si Kuya Carl. Again, these young boys need to bring out the men in them fast while the Kuyas are out. Happy Coach Mike.
It is all about fast-tracking their development at this point of the season because of those losses for Zamboanga. Thank you, Mika, for that report. Quarter scoring on your screens here. Nobody has been able to breach 20 points in this game, Coach Mike.
Oh, actually, palitan lang ng scoring dito eh. 18 in the third quarter para sa Biñan, 12 naman para dito sa Zamboanga. And pretty much, that's been the trend. You get the first quarter, try to recover, win back the third, and who's gonna win the fourth? About to see.
And JP Kawilan opens up scoring once again, just like he did at the start of the third quarter para sa Zamboanga. A three-pointer added to his name. 3 3-pointers in the game for JP Kawilan.
Boy, Biñan has made only one three-pointer rather out of the 11 attempts that they made.
Mosqueda turns the corner after that screen by James Una. JJ Pido trying to hold down Abdul Sawat at may foul na may tatawag laban sa Biñan. This is our three-point shot of the game, brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances.
And that exactly is that moment when you're most free and you're JP Kawilan that you're supposed to take it. If you go back to that Mindoro game, relocate, catch and shoot, yun ang ginagawa ni Ino Combo. I feel JP should do the same.
He's shooting 34.1% from the outside this season. But his team down by 6, 50-44. Rich Gabat gets in between that pass. No, that was JP Kawilan actually who gets the steal.
And JP read that perfectly well. He understood that this was going to be an empty ball screen. He got to hit a short roller, stuck his hand out, able to get that deflection. Right now, this is ball possession for Zamboanga with an opportunity to cut down on the 6-point deficit.
Zamboanga has Credo, Mosqueda, Kawilan, Una, and Sawat on the floor. While for Biñan, it's Pido, Lopez, the Pinoy Sakuragi, Mark Pingris, Carlos Timosa, and Mike Maestre.
They ran the same play, but they didn't get JP Kawilan free. There, he's holding that corner.
Oh, he was wide open earlier.
There
He's wide open now. Three-pointer on the way. He could not capitalize. Sawat keeps it alive. Una could not handle the pass.
What's the thing that most coaches say on an offensive rebound? You got to spray it out to three-point shooters.
Yeah, it's one of the most potent three-point shots and one of the most difficult to defend off the offensive rebound. James Una, this time jockeying for position against Mark Pingris. Zamboanga naman na matatawagan ng foul doon.
And when Mika reported about these young guns, these boys of Zamboanga turning into men, that's what he meant. James Una not backing down against the Mark Pingers. And these guys, to your point, gotta speed up that maturity for them to end up better in the playoffs.
Ido could not hit Lastimosa on the curl. Lopez will take the shot from the outside. Masyado malakas.
I don't think Coach Boyd was happy with that shot.
And that's why I think he now plucks Pamboy Raimundo from that bench. Set to check in the next dead ball para kay Bam Lopez. There's a foul against Biñan. Oh, it's Pino coming out, and Lopez will stay inside the game. Michael Are will be inserted by Coach Bong Ramos. Mosqueda will come out and take a breather. Zamboanga down by 6 points. And then 2 minutes gone by here in the final quarter. Are attacks the middle. Are draws the foul. And he really forced the issue there. It did not look like he was going anywhere on that play. But still managed to make something out of nothing. Michael Are, 2 shots ang maibibigay para sa kanya.
And that's the quality of a good point guard, if you ask me.
That's a free throw of the game brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Yep, when all the chips have fallen down, when the clock's winding down, a good point guard should bail you out of that situation.
Yeah, I mean, really good decision making. Yan ang napakahalaga para sa mga point guards.
Lastimosa being defended here by Jason Credo, trying to play the two-man game with Maestre. Kawilan is now on him. JP doesn't bite on the fake. Raimundo gets past Sawat, sprays it out. Lastimosa, step to the side, three-pointer, wala rin. Maestre keeps it alive. Offensive rebound for Biñan. They want to go to the post. Una gets Pingris. Mark, the dump off. Lastimosa, wala!
Lapit nun.
Multiple opportunities for Biñan. Multiple misses. Sawat, this time inside, mops the gimme.
Oh, and no player outside of JP Kawilan is in double digits right now for Zamboanga.
They once again go to the Pinoy Sakuragi. Pingris testing the mettle of James Una's defense. Another foul is whistled against James.
That's going to be number 4 in James.
James Sena also with 4 fouls. He got his 4th earlier in the 3rd quarter. And here Mark Pingris just playing bully ball after that drop step. Saw that he had the advantage, drew the foul. Now he's going to take 2 more shots at the free throw line. We go courtside to Ms. Mika Besamis.
Mark Pingris, one of the guys that really brought more credibility to this league, we have to admit. We had an interesting conversation earlier, talked about how conditioning mode na daw siya. But again, these are the guys that we look forward to seeing there. Sabi niya, he appreciates how the rest of the veterans, to be specific, are performing well and respecting this league. Talking about Alex Cabagnot, Arwin Santos, Vic Manuel. He said, excited na ako, magtapat-tapat kami because it's Legends time. Have you, Coach Mike?
Maraming salamat, Mika. And alam mo naman itong mga to, tama ka dyan, Mika, dahil syempre, at their age, syempre, they would want to pace themselves. It's a long season and they want to be very strategic in where they want to actually switch up their game and put it up into Legends mode. Ika nga.
Totoo yan. Laro ang mga alamat na yan, ika nga. And in the playoffs, games are slower, it's more tactical, you're in a microscope, everybody's looking at you at every game. What do you run? How do you adjust? And the good adjusting coaches and the team that quickly morphs into how they want to perform naturally would
Pamboy Raimundo answering the call from the outside, dialing it down from three-point country.
Yeah, when we talked about earlier about the point guard making the right decisions, these are a couple of reasons that we want to give you as examples. Chino Mosqueda finding a good guy rolling underneath. This time, defense gets hit, drop coverage right in front of you. And Pamboy Raimundo just going to experience right there, knocking down that straight up three.
We're going back and forth here. It's been a battle of attrition between these two squads. We'll take a short break. We're here at the Paco Arena for our Tuesday triple header dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Those are our Gixxer fans at the game born for greatness. Maraming salamat sa pagdala sa aming coverage dito sa Paco Arena. Good evening to everybody watching on our YouTube channel as well as on pusopi.com. This is Javi Palanya on the call, joined by Coach Mike Perez. Ms. Mika Abesames is at courtside. Currently, Zamboanga trailing Biñan by 7 points, but Jason Credo wants to change things up here, aggressively driving to the hole and drawing a foul.
And Jason Credo continues to prove that he is one of the really good readers and decision makers for Zamboanga. Right there, coming off that inbounds from the back court. Really understood the use of what's called a blur screen. And you quickly use it, you go downhill, try attack the middle with a drop coverage. Not really being a rim protection right there, and you know, just offering that little separation on that drive by Jason.
The free throws continuing to be a problem here, not just for Zamboanga. Both teams actually have been struggling from the free throw line in this game. Credo splits his charities.
Totoo ka dyan, and you know, both teams roughly shooting in the 60% of their shots from the line. Again, pagpasok mo sa playoff, kailangan mapasok mo yung mga free throws na yan.
5 points in the game for Jason Credo. His team down by 6.
Oh, wow.
Roca Curva, what a drop-off to Waray Gimpayan. The basket plus the foul para kay Jaymar.
And much as everybody's been focused on Kenny Roca Curva getting that 1,000 point, he's still focused on winning this match right there. Drew a secondary defender and really just left it out for Waray to finish.
Well, that's the beauty of the development of Kenny Roca Curva in this league. He has now recognized when he has to drop it off, when the defense has full attention on him, when he has to defer to his teammates on the floor. Gimpayan could not complete the three-point play. The lead is 8 for Biñan. Kawilan. That's off the back iron. The tap goes to Pamboy Raimundo.
But that's the shot you want JP to take. Catch and shoot. He was set up pretty well right there.
Zamboanga only shooting 4 out of 16 from the outside tonight. Lastimosa gets by to the side of Reg Gambat. Bonifacio with the offensive rebound. Roca Curva saves it to Warren. Look at the ball movement here for Biñan. Air ball though by Lastimosa. That's a shot clock violation against the Tatakjel. Coach Boyet says it's fine. We're gonna make up for it on the defensive end.
Now you gotta be happy with that sequence if you're Coach Boyet. Forget about it. Move on to the next play.
4 minutes and 33 remaining in this game. Zamboanga is number 4 in the South. Biñan currently number 7. There's still a chance for the Tatakjel to avoid the play-in tournament.
Nice movement.
Gabat, three-pointer, no good.
They had Chino come up what's called a Peja action. When you start off from the low block, you get a little back pick before getting that handoff. That time he got that handoff from, I think that was James Una. And setting up that three for Gabat, but Gabat airballed that shot attempt.
Shots just not falling yet here for Zamboanga, but they get the steal. Touch passing for the Sikat. It ends up in an Una basket.
Ganda talaga ng mga reads ni Chino Mosqueda. Already had a shot that end, but he understood downhill. There's more momentum on James' side than his.
James Una with 13 points in this game. Chino Mosqueda has 7 assists. Capobres called for the foul. Zamboanga will pick up their 4th team foul here in the corner. This is our fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme X Pop, personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke.
Old school, that's called give and go. Get that pass off to one guy and give it up again to a guy that's going downhill. Ganda ng pagkaka-finish ni James Una doon.
That's a baseline throw in here para sa Biñan. Lastimosa inbounds to Bonifacio. Maestre, top of the key, gives it up to Pamboy. Raimundo, the pocket pass. Maestre with a strong take, misses it. Mosqueda will walk it up here into their front court.
Too tight on that last action for Biñan.
Mosqueda kicks it out. Capobres goes to the basket, off the glass, that rims out.
That was a good shot, sayang.
And they've missed a lot of good shots in this game.
Agree. Makeable shots that's not falling.
High ball screen for Raimundo, set by Maestre. Mike, this time he makes the basket. Unfortunately, referee Jay Castroverde signaling a charge.
I think they have to review this. I don't think that was a charge. You got to challenge that if you coach Boyd.
And they will. The yellow light is on right there. They had a successful challenge earlier. They're going to try to have another one here. This is going to be a crucial call.
Because the reason I say that, I thought Mike tried to avoid it.
We'll be right back. We'll be taking a short break.
The Biñan Tatagjel's challenge was unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful challenge for Coach Boyd Fernandez and the Biñan Tatagel. Ito yung nangyari. Tinawagan ng offensive foul dito si Mike Maestre.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly lowering his shoulder there, Coach.
That's right. That shoulder went right through the chest. Was that Alvin Capobres?
Yes. Zamboanga with a chance to trim this deficit. Credo gets hit against Lastimosa. And he loses it. Crucial turnover for Zamboanga.
Boy, you gotta credit the defense of Biñan right there, not allowing JP Kawilan to have that space to slip.
Bonifacio thought he had the upper hand there, getting ample position against Jason Credo.
But they don't have a challenge anymore.
Instead, it will be a double foul against both Credo and Bonifacio.
Action right there. Well, actually, nauna na kanina pa yung banggaan eh, no? Ay yung contact between those two.
Warren
And
Bonifacio
the call will
is
be
second.
upheld.
And number
It is
7, Jason
a double
Credo
foul
is
against both
second.
Bonifacio and Credo. Lucky break for Zamboanga.
Doon sa middle action pa lang, meron na eh. But they called it when they were already down on the low block.
2 minutes and 48 remaining. 12 on the shot clock here for Biñan. Raimundo looking inside. Lastimosa gets the pass. Mosqueda right there with him. 3 on the shot clock. Lastimosa could not hit on the jumper. Look at Kenny Rocacurva skying for that rebound.
Oh my God. Did you see that? He literally went up there and just took it from everyone.
Kenny Rocacurva has dominated not just on the offensive end, but also on the glass this evening.
Well, he really circled around everyone. Past a couple of Zamboanga players, past Waray Gimpayan, and able to sneak in and steal that rebound off of them.
Look at his numbers in this game. 19 and 14 para kay Kenny Rocacurva. He has 20 after that made free throw. Here you see the Biñan faithful crowded near the big screen here inside the Paco Arena. Look how many free throws Biñan has had in this game. 32 attempts in total. 33 after that one. But Rocacurva misses. Are to slow things down here.
That's almost 10 more than they normally would average itong Biñan.
Mosqueda tried to go inside to Kawilan. The spacing not ideal there for Zamboanga.
You know what? They have not allowed JP Kawilan to beat the defender. And really, for the most part, he's had to contend with that guy, right? And it's been tough.
Timeout taken here on the floor by Zamboanga. That's the second to the last timeout of this game. We'll be right back. Biñan has 2 remaining games left on their schedule for the regular season. Quezon City and Pasay on September 22 and September 24 respectively.
Must-win situation yan actually for Biñan. They still got a good chance if they sweep their remaining games. Probably sneak in even number 4. But yung spectrum ng range nila talaga is either you get to within the 4 to 8 slots.
Baseline throw in here for Chino Mosqueda. This is an important possession for Zamboanga. Credo has the height advantage here against Lastimosa, but Carla really making it difficult for Jason Credo. A foul called against Lastimosa. Penalty na ang Biñan.
Well, they get to the penalty and they send Jason Credo to the line. But I'd like to take note that every Biñan player who's had, based on the rotation of the movement offensively by Zamboanga, every time you have JP right in front of you, do not let go. And that time, Warren Bonifacio was the one who was pretty much assigned to JP. He never took his eye off JP. And so, Zamboanga, on their end, hindi nila mapuntahan yung 3-point shooting ni JP.
It has been absent for the most part here in the fourth quarter, but he's hit a few. Zamboanga, though, has been known to be a good 3-point shooting team, especially in the first half of the season, but that has escaped them here in this part of the year.
Well, JP's 3-point shooting has actually been pretty pedestrian. He's at 33%. He averages roughly about 34, but you know, he's so much better than that.
Oh, Pingris, naunahan niya
Travel.
si James Una, but took an extra step.
Travel, that's right.
Another lucky break there for Zamboanga. Actually, they've had a lot of these in this game, coach. However, when they go into their offensive sets, hindi nila matranslate into points.
Oh, they cannot take advantage of the turnovers that they force. Look, they forced Biñan to 12 turnovers, but they've only gotten 4 points of it. I mean, clearly you got to be better than that in terms of exploiting the mistakes that you forced on your opponent.
Well, that just proves to you how difficult it has been to put points on the board in this game for Zamboanga. Credo now setting up the table for the guys in orange. Under 2 minutes to play, Una almost lost it. The handoff to Jason. Can Zamboanga get a basket? They need one badly. Mosqueda down
Ganda.
low. Una gets the score. What a play by Chino Mosqueda.
You knew from the get-go that Chino was not going to look to score. He was sizing up that roll by James Una. Ooh!
And almost a steal. And they're going to review that. We're under the final 2 minutes. Coach Engay Macaraya really giving Michael Are his props there for almost forcing a turnover on Pamboy Raimundo. That could actually be the case here after we review this one.
Now this is just a 4-point game with a minute and 29 remaining. See that again once here. Pamboy receives that ball down on the end line.
Hard to see from that angle. Na-angle ba niya?
Yeah, it's tough to see. Hindi natin makita kung inbounds pa yung bola eh, no?
Medyo nakaharang kasi si Gimpagel na yun.
But the way it looked, it sure looked like na-steal yung bola ni Are. Will there be a foul though? Because if the ball was already on Are and he bumped back
Exactly.
on Pamboy, that might be escalated to a foul.
Yun nga yung tinatry na sabihin sa ating mga referees that maybe Pamboy Raimundo could
be.
And that would be big because if that does happen, that's going to be 2 free throws for Michael Are. So that's an opportunity for Zamboanga to trim this lead to just 2 points with the clock stop.
Right. And if ever this does get turned into an offensive foul naman on Are, then this will be ball possession over to Biñan.
Alright, habang nire-review pa rin ng ating mga referees, we'll take a short break first.
Upon review, it's Biñan Tatakjel basketball.
After the review, our referees have ruled in favor of the Biñan Tatakjel.
See what happened there. There, took the ball.
Ayun,
Oh yeah,
nakatapak
nasa labas.
Just a little shove after he got the basketball there, talking about Mike Are, but that was insignificant because Biñan will still get the rock here.
No need to panic here if you're Zamboanga. Really just got to stay the course. 8-second violation.
Just when you were saying no need to panic, huh?
Yeah. As they pretty much had the ball still back in the backcourt, and they got the full length of the floor to defend.
Coach Boyd Fernandez unhappy with that outcome. This gives Zamboanga a chance to get to within 2 points, maybe even 1 with a 3-point shot.
Yeah, JP's got to give it up. Now he's got to slip this.
Oh, Chino Mosqueda goes for the floater, leaves that one short.
That was a good look for Chino.
Both teams in the penalty.
You can't foul now.
Oh, that's a terrible foul given up by Jason Credo.
Yeah, he had his hand all over Carlo Lastimosa.
I don't understand.
And that was right in front of the refs.
Exactly. This is our Gixxer great move of the game. Born for greatness, excellent lead pass there by Chino Mosqueda for James Una.
It just shows you the IQ of Chino Mosqueda.
Yeah, he's had 8 assists in this game. Lastimosa could not take care of business on the first free throw.
We saw that play earlier. He really wasn't trying to look to score. He was trying to feed off.
1 out of 2 from the line. That's his only trip to the free throw line so far in this game. Talking about Lastimosa. 58-53. Under a minute to play in this game. Another important possession for Zamboanga. Credo taking his time. Gives it up. Kawilan, step to the side. 3, that's big. No, the miss. Credo is fouled. Going up, he will take 2 shots.
Boy, that timing on that offensive rebound, Credo is cramping.
Well, he's played a lot of minutes in this game than he's usually accustomed to. Almost 23 minutes in this game for Credo, who's only averaging how many minutes? Just 10.3 minutes per game.
It's way beyond his normal minutes per game.
Credo will still be the one to take the free throws here. He's 3 out of 6. Oh. Big misses by Zamboanga. Imagine that, 9 out of 22, coach.
13 missed free throws, and you're down 5.
Credo with 1 more 39 seconds remaining in this game. Credo could not hit. Capobres tracks it down. Another opportunity here for Zamboanga. They're going to have to go a little quicker here.
Yeah, they got to go quick.
Credo doesn't hand it off. Spins. The drop off. Una, still no go. Oh my goodness. The misses piling up from the field, from the free throw line. It has plagued Zamboanga here more so in the fourth quarter.
Biggest man that side of the floor. As the defense really got preoccupied, Fingers had to commit. Leaves it over for James. That finger roll though, not deciding to go in. And who gets that defensive rebound? The smallest Biñan player in Pamboy Raimundo.
Big stop para sa Biñan. Raimundo will be tested at the free throw line. He could put the finishing touches on this one.
That to me is really just wanting that ball. Rebound is always about will.
And Raimundo also missing on that first free throw.
16 missed free throws naman sa side ng Biñan.
Raimundo takes care of the second. Zamboanga will burn their final timeout. 21.9 seconds remaining in this one. 2-possession ball game.
Yeah, they will definitely have to advance this ball in the front court. Maybe run a series of screens, maybe flares, even staggers to set up three-point shooters.
I'll take a short break here. Magbabalik ang MPBL. Boss Bonsing Talisayon, Poy Aktub, Megan Galang, all behind that Biñan bench, all in anticipation for a win here today, which could help boost Biñan's chances of making the playoffs outright in the Southern Division. They're currently number 7 right now, 15 and 11. Zamboanga with possession here, Mosqueda, Una, Kawilan, Are, and Capobres on the floor. Una able to receive. James Una this time against 2 defenders, able to convert, and he makes this a 4-point game.
They decide against going for a quick 3 and just a quick 2 right there. The alley-oop play intended for James Una. You'd love that James stayed in control amidst that defense of Mark Pingris. I thought they could have also curled up in the corner, si JP Kawilan, but still a good read of that inbounds from Zamboanga.
Timeout, Biñan. Zamboanga also has 2 remaining games on their schedule, Coach Mike. It's Quezon and the Caloocan Batang Kankalu on September 20 and 23 respectively.
And the games are just not about to become easier for Zamboanga. And their remaining games have been pretty tough, including these 2 in Quezon and Caloocan. They've been sliding though.
They have. They have been facing the top teams in the latter part of the season, and they have not been able to perform as well compared to the first half. Biñan inbounding from the side. Lastimosa at it there. Quick foul given up by Chino Mosqueda.
They want to send immediately to the line. Biñan, where Carlo Lastimosa has gone once. He split his free throw the last time he was there.
Yeah, just about a second chipped off of that game clock. There you see Miss Lea Lastimosa. Carlo gets to trickle in that first free throw. Lastimosa surprisingly, is only a 52.3% free throw shooter this year.
That's right.
Oh, 1 out of 2. Una collects it.
Gotta give it
Zamboanga
up.
has to go fast. No more timeouts para sa kanila. Are throws it to Kawilan. JP for 3. Nope. Are with the offensive rebound. He goes for the 3-point shot. That's a foul
Ooh.
against Pamboy Raimundo. Wala na yatang challenge.
Challenge, but they gotta review this. They're gonna check on this.
Coach Moya doesn't believe it's a foul too.
I don't think so too. See that?
And actually, pwede pa nga maging offensive foul to eh. Dahil yun, no? There was that leg sticking
Yeah.
out for Michael Are.
Right. And Pamboy was really going sideways as he was trying to avoid hitting si ano. Oh, and
They don't review it. They go with the call. Are, that's gonna be it for Zamboanga.
yeah,
If he made all 3 free throws,
would have been just a 2-possession game.
one possession game.
1-possession game rather. Oh man.
Actually, if he could have made 2 out of 3, missed the last, and
Meron
then
pa.
get a shot, rebound and get the shot, they could snatch this game away from Biñan, but that's just gonna do it. Biñan will try to make sure here with 1.9 seconds remaining in this game. Ayaw nilang madisgrasya dito. And they're gonna map out one final play. Magbabalik kami. Back here between Biñan and Zamboanga. This is pretty much decided already. Zamboanga just saw Michael Are miss 2 of his 3 free throws.
And this pretty much is very similar to Zamboanga's loss against Basilan. They did not shoot the ball well from the field, from the line. They get out rebounded. They get out assisted. They had more points in the paints, but the only difference is that their bench produced so much better compared to how they did against Basilan in their last game.
Coach Boyd Fernandez and the Biñan Tatak Gel rise up to 16 and 11 while Zamboanga drops down to 17 and 10 in danger of surrendering the home court advantage that the top 4 will be awarded with at the end of the regular season in the playoffs, at least for the first round. And in this game, from start to finish, this guy dominated on the boards and in scoring. Not getting to 1,000 points, but still with a stellar performance, Kenny Roger Rocacurva.
Yeah, 20 points, 7 points short of the 1,000-point milestone. He did get 10 rebounds as well. 15 rebounds rather. 5 of them coming off the offensive rock. 3 assists. And pretty much in all of it happening in the 24 minutes that he was on the floor.
60-56 ang ating final score. Kenny Rocacurva is at courtside with Mika Besames.
Maraming salamat. Congratulations, Kenny. Hindi man natin inabot yung 1,000 points sa araw na to. Eh, di bali na double-double performance ka naman. Kumusta ka?
Thankful lang ako kay God na binigay sa amin ito panalo na ito kasi very important game para sa paparating na playoffs.
Napag-usapan mo kung gaano ka-importante itong larong to, no? Lalo na against a team like Zamboanga. Ito yung mga sinasabi ni Coach Boy at ng mga gusto niya makitang laro. No? Kumusta ba kayo sa practices, lalo na leading into the playoffs?
Lang kami, in-execute lang namin yung play namin kasi Zamboanga ay number 1 defensive team sa league and yun lang, ginawa lang namin yung best namin.
Maraming salamat. Meron ka ba mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan, Kenny?
Binabati ko si Boss Ruben Tan ng Beast Motorcycle Tire Game Export, Victoria Sport, Boss Ajid Anunuevo, Mayor Dial Alonte, and syempre sa boss namin, si Boss Monching Talisayan, sa family ko, sa wife ko, sa 2 anak ko, and kay Boss Danny.
Maraming salamat. Aabangan ko yung 1,000 points sa susunod na game mo. Maraming salamat, Kenny Rocakurva. Balik sa inyo. Happy Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. Congratulations to Kenny Rocakurva and the Biñan Tatak Gel. That's 2 down, 1 more to go. We have the Val City Magic going up against the home squad, the Manila Batang Quiapo, for our final game sa ating Tuesday triple header dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.